So in this video, I've put together some very common British expressions and words that you'll mostly hear here in the UK. So if you're learning British English, then this video is for you. Let's get started with the first one. You are right. You are right. This is a question. You're right? You're right? Now, this confuses a lot of learners. It confused me as well when I first moved here, because in other English countries, it sounds like somebody thinks something is wrong. But here in the UK, you're right, is usually just another way of saying hello, how are you? For example, you're right? Yeah, not bad. You? You're right? Yeah, not bad. You? This is very normal here in the UK, and don't worry, people usually are not expecting a deep emotional answer. A quick yeah, not bad is completely fine. Another very common one is the word fancy. Okay, fancy. For example, fancy a coffee, fancy a cuppa. Okay, or do you fancy going out later? Do you fancy going out later? In British English, fancy means do you want or would you like. This is very British. Fancy a coffee, fancy a coffee, fancy a cuppa, not copy. And once you notice it, you'll hear it everywhere, trust me. Now, here is one that you'll hear constantly here in the UK. The word knackered. Knackered. This just means extremely tired. This is used all the time. So for example, I'm absolutely knackered after work. I'm absolutely knackered after work. This is a very common British slang, let's say, or expression. Honestly, British people seem permanently knackered, trust me. Another great one is taking the piss. Taking the piss. Oi, are you taking the piss? Hey mate, are you taking the piss? This just means making fun of someone or joking around. For example, wait, are you taking the piss? Are you taking the piss? British humor is very sarcastic, so this expression comes up a lot. But be careful, this is informal English, probably not something that you want to say in a business meeting, in a formal setting, okay? Now, here is a very British response. Not bad. Not bad. British people say this all the time. For example, how's work? Not bad. Hey, how you doing? Not bad. Hey, how are you? Not bad. You alright? Not bad. They overuse it. How was the food? Not bad. And weirdly enough, sometimes not bad actually means really good. British people tend to understate things instead of sounding overly emotional. Another common one is cheers. Cheers. Not cheers when you're doing a toast, when you got drinks. Cheers. No, not that kind of cheers. Although it's spelled the same way. People say cheers when drinking, like I said before. But in the UK, it also means thanks. That's right, thanks. And to be honest, I think you will hear cheers more often than thanks or thank you. So for example, cheers for the help. Cheers for the help. Thanks for the help. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Or a very common situation where this word is used is whenever you are getting off the bus, you will hear people say cheers. Cheers as in thanks. This is very natural and very British. You will probably hear this every single day in the UK. Now, here is one that confuses many learners. I'll give you a ring. I'll give you a ring. I will give you a ring. This is a common expression used here in the UK, which simply means I'll call you, okay? I'll call you. I'll give you a ring. So for example, instead of saying I'll call you later, you can say I'll give you a ring later. I will give you a ring later. No actual ring involved. Just call me. I'll call you. All right. Another very common British English expression is gutted or gutted. I'm gutted. I'm gutted, which means very, very disappointed. Okay. So for example, I was absolutely gutted when they cancelled the match. I was absolutely gutted when they cancelled the match. This expression is extremely common around here, especially when talking about football or an event that, you know, did not happen or something like that that left you very disappointed. Now, here is a classic British phrase for you. It's chucking it down. I had not heard this one before I moved here actually. It's chucking it down, which means it's raining heavily, okay? Chucking it down. People around here don't say it's raining cats and dogs. I don't think anyone these days uses it. I think it's an old expression, but one that most English learners learn first. It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining a lot, but that's not used anymore. So we say over here, one of the expressions that we use to say it's raining a lot, it's chucking it down. So for example, we can't go outside right now. We can't go outside right now. It's chucking it down. It's chucking it down, okay? Honestly, if you live in the UK, you will probably hear this phrase a lot when it's raining a lot, because it rains a lot in this country. Yes. Next one we have mate. Mate or buddy. Mate, mate. This is a very British way to say friend or buddy. Okay? Mate. It can be a friend, it can be buddy, or just a casual way to speak to someone. All right? So, for example, you are right, mate. You right, mate? You right, mate? Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate. Mate. Okay, mate. Can I have a glass of water? Can I have a bottle of water? A bottle of water, mate. Okay, you'll hear this absolutely everywhere in the UK. But we're not finished yet. Here are a few more expressions you'll hear all the time in the UK. Bloody. That was bloody brilliant. Bloody. This is one of the most famous British words. People use bloody for emphasis. For example, it's bloody freezing today. It's bloody freezing today. That was bloody brilliant. That was bloody brilliant. It adds emotion to what you're saying. Very, very British. Another one, sorted. Sorted. British people love this word. Sorted just means fixed or organized or taken care of or resolved. Sorted, mate. For example, don't worry, it's sorted. We've got the tickets sorted. We've got the tickets sorted. Very simple, very useful, and very common. Another good one is can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. This just means you don't have the energy or motivation to do something. You just can't be asked. Another one, can't be bothered or can't be asked to do something. That's right. So for example, I can't be bothered to cook tonight. I can't be bothered to cook tonight. So I'll order some McDonald's or Domino's or whatever. You'll hear this all the time in the UK. Can't be bothered or can't be asked. Another very common one is dodgy. Dodgy is a very dodgy word. It's very versatile. Okay, this usually means suspicious, unsafe, or unreliable, among other things. But for now, these three are good enough for you. So, for example, that website looks a bit dodgy. Or we stayed in a really dodgy hotel. That lad over there seems a bit dodgy. That lad over there is a bit dodgy. I'll keep an eye on him. This is very, very British. Another British word is proper. Proper. Not proper, proper. Okay, now this one is interesting. In British English, people often use proper for emphasis. For example, I am proper tired. That's proper British food right there. What is it? Fish and chips. That's right. Or that's proper funny. That's proper funny. This sounds very natural in many parts of the UK, including where I live. Now, another one is to throw a sickie. To throw a sickie means pretending to be sick so you don't have to go to work. So you throw a sickie and call in. I can't make it to work today. I'm ill. Sorry. You just can't be bothered to go to work. That's it. So, for example, he threw a sickie and stayed home to watch football. How dare you? This is very British. Another one is, now this one is very common. Bits and bobs. Bits and bobs. This just means small random things and objects, right? For example, I just need to pick up a few bits and bobs from the shops, right? A few things, a few small things. Yeah, bits and bobs. This is very common in everyday British English. Now, lost the plot is a very good one as well that you will hear all the time. Lost the plot. You've lost the plot. This means someone is acting cuckoo, crazy, or irrational. For example, he has completely lost the plot. He's completely lost the plot. British people use this one a lot jokingly, okay? He's lost the plot. He's gone mad, crazy. Another one is chuffed. I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed for you, mate. I'm chuffed for you, mate. This just means very pleased or proud. So, for example, I was really chuffed with my exam results. So, at my previous job, when I landed my current job, I told a British colleague at my previous job, and he said, "Oh, nice. I'm chuffed for you, mate. I'm chuffed for you, Bruno. I'm chuffed for you, Bruno." Yeah, this is very British. Another one is the loo. The loo. Loo. Can you guess what it is? Yeah, loo is the toilet. That's right. British people use this all the time. They don't always say bathroom, or they don't say restroom, so they don't say bathroom or toilet. They say loo, very informal. They often say loo. For example, sorry, where is the loo? Where is the loo? This is simple but extremely common in the UK. Now, here's the main takeaway from this video. If you really want to understand British English, don't only focus on textbook grammar. Focus on the phrases that people actually use in everyday life, because expressions like knackered, cheers, can't be bothered, and you're right are part of real British everyday communication. I only learned these ones after I moved here, because I learned American English online and I had little to no exposure to proper British English. So I struggled for a long time, but now I've got the hang of it now. By learning these phrases, you will sound more British and you will understand what British people mean when they use these words and phrases and expressions. So tell me in the comments which British expression or words from this list you knew before and which one is new for you or were new for you. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.